Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to be learning how to draft the simplest basic sleeve. So from this basic sleeve, we are going to be using it to draft our second video on how to draft our petal sleeve. So first you have to fold your pattern into two, then mark out 1 inch to serve as your starting line. So once you are done marking out, you use any ruler that have a straight edge or a straight ruler to connect the lines. So once you are done connecting the lines, the next step is to use this starting line as a guide to mark out your sleeve length. So I'll be using from shoulder to cap line 3 inches, from shoulder to armhole 6 inches, then the full length I'm using 9.5. Going to repeat the same process. So once I'm done repeating the same process, I'm going to use my ruler to connect the lines like so. So once I'm done, I used 1 inch. I marked out 1 inch for my hemming line. You can use 1.5, you can use 2 depending on what you want to achieve. But I don't want the hemming to be bulky, that's why I'm using 1 inch. So after I measured out the measurements that I'm working with and noticed that it will not be enough, I decided to extend the lines. So here I'm extending all the lines, the hemming line, the full line, the armhole line, the cap line, and also the starting line. So once I'm done, I'm going to trim out the part that I will be working with. After trimming it out, I'm going to fold the remaining in a neat fold so that I can be able to use it anytime I want to. So if you are not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, drop your comments down below. So now I'm going to open up the fold, but if you are not using marker, you can trace out using your tracing wheel before unfolding it. So since I'm using the mark is already on the other side of the pattern paper. So I'm going to use it as a guide to extend the lines to the other side of the pattern. But if you are not sure of the measurements, all you have to do is to retake all the measurements on the other side of the paper. So once I'm done, I'm going to fold again, flatten it so that I will get the midpoint of the paper. I'm starting to draw my straight line, starting from the starting line down to the hemming line. So once I'm done, I'm going to label my starting point, which is my starting line, my cap line, my armhole line, my full length, and my hemming line, or you can call it my full length line, depending on what you want to do or how you want to label yours. Then after, I'm going to use my tape, place it on the armhole, and then measure my armhole measurement. So in this video, I'm using 9 inch. So I'm going to mark out 9 inch on both sides as well. So after marking this 9 inch, I'm going to use a slanty line to connect that 9 inch to the midpoint of the starting line. So I'm going to repeat the same process on the other side using a dotted line as well. So once I'm done, I'm going to measure the full length or the full width that I'm working with. So here I'm using 6 inches. So I'm going to mark out 6 inches on both sides. So this depends on what you are working or who you are working with. So I decided to divide the 9 inches into two, and I did this on both sides. So what I have is 11. 11 divided by 2 will give me 5.5. So I marked out 5.5 on both sides, then labeled it front and back. So from the 5.5, I divided into 2 to give me 2.75 or so. Then from that 2.75, I raised it up outside by 0.75 inch, and then repeat the same using 0.75 inch as well for the back. But first you have to mark out the midpoint of the remaining 5.5 on the down part. Then use your curve rule to curve it out. Make sure that when curving that the points connect together. So once I'm done with the back sleeve, I'm going to go to the front side. So after marking the midpoint of the 5.5 on the upper side, which is 2.75, I raise it up by 1 inch. Remember that the back I use 0.75. So on the second part of the 5.5, I used, after marking the midpoint, I use half inch instead of 0.75. So after I'm placing my curve rule to match up from the starting line, the midpoint of the starting line to the first 5.5 inches. So you can see I'm taking my time to curve the sleeve. So I'm going to face my curve rule the other side and then measure it out or curve it out. The right word is curve it out. So after, I'm using my ruler to blend out all the hash lines so that I can have a fine-tuned sleeve edge. So after marking it out, I'm going to remember that the armhole, you have to remeasure to make sure that the armhole is more than that 9 inches. So once it's more than, there is no need for you to add your seam allowance. You are going to add your seam allowance on the full length. So I'm adding 2 inches. You can add 1.5. Then after I connected it to the armhole measurement that I marked out, so I'm doing the same thing on the other side of the sleeve. So after, I extended it with a little slant on the hemming. So once I'm done, the next step now is to trim out our blue colored marks. So right here, I'm just making sure that I record all the measurement that I used for this. So once you are done cross-checking your measurements, it's now time for you to trim it out. And voila, we are done with our sleeve. So guys, make sure you subscribe, give me a thumbs up, drop your comment if you have any question. Then don't forget to subscribe, share this video to your friends and family, share on your timeline, save it as well, comment, and I'll be down in the comment section waiting for you. So this is as simple as ABCD. We are done with our basic sleeve, and this is how cute and good it looks like. So see you.